So always remember the RMS phasor voltage is this one and the phasor RMS current is this one, right? Okay, phasor, you understand phasor. Phasor means with voltage and with angle, right? With magnitude and angle. That is called phasor. So this is your voltage and current. Now the terms V into I conjugate. Conjugate, do you understand conjugate? Conjugate means the opposite, right? Because this is a complex number. This is a complex thing. This is a complex. So if you conjugate the I, what will happen? What will happen? The imaginary part will be negative. Okay. So this is the conjugate. If you conjugate I and multiply with V, you will get S. S is equal to V I conjugate. Always remember this. S is equal to V I conjugate. This is the complex power. Now V into I conjugate is equal to what? So how much it will be? See, remember, V is this one, I is this one. So I conjugate means what? I conjugate is equal to this one. Okay, conjugate means, remember, conjugate means angle will be negative. That means the imaginary part will be negative only. No magnitude. Magnitude will be same. Okay, I conjugate is equal to I angle minus theta, right? Now here, if you multiply these two, that means this one and this one, what will happen? The V will come first, then the I will go there, then theta V will be there, and minus theta I. Because if you multiply, your theta added, right? So you have 1 theta V plus minus theta I. So eventually you are getting what? Theta V minus theta I, right? That is your angle. So from there, if we call this thing theta, this is your theta. Understood? So VI theta. Understood, everyone? VI theta. Okay? This is called S. By the way, this is the lagging power factor. Why it is lagging? Can anyone say why it is lagging? It is lagging because your angle was negative. That's why. Now, if we further simplify this, this will be called VI cos theta plus J VI sin theta, right? Because any complex number can be written as like this. Any complex number can be written as like this. So VI cos theta plus J VI sin theta. Understood? Do you know how this thing has come? Okay, let me show you. 5 angle, let's say 30 degree. This is a complex number, right? Anyone? This is a complex number, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you know or you didn't? Which one? Complex number can be written as two form. One is called polar form. Another one is called rectangle form, right?
Yes, sir.
What is polar form? Polar form is this one, R angle theta. And what is rectangle? A plus IB or JB, right? Right? Now this one is which one? This one is polar. This one is polar. So how can you convert this to rectangle form? Okay, obviously you can use calculator. I'm going to use the calculator here.
So exponential from লেখা যায় না?
Yeah, of course. Of course লেখা যাবে, কেন লেখা যাবে না? বাট আমি বেসিক্যালি আমি বলতেছি যাচ্ছে সেটা হচ্ছে যে একটা কমপ্লেক্স নাম্বারকে আমি দুই ভাবে প্রকাশ করতে পারি, পোলার এবং রেক্টেঙ্গেল। এই পোলারকেও তো তুমি এইভাবে থিটা অ্যাঙ্গেল না দিয়ে তুমি এক্সপোনেনশিয়ালি দেখাতে পারো। ইউ ক্যান ইউজ এক্সপোনেনশিয়াল, নো প্রবলেম। ওকে, এক্সপোনেনশিয়ালি দেখানো যাবে। Now here, how can you convert this polar form to rectangle form? There are two ways, not two actually, many ways. So I like two ways. One is using calculator. This one, I'm just going to the setup. That means the complex mode. I'm going to write 5 angle 30. Remember, our calculator sign should be in degree. Otherwise, you cannot put degree. Okay. My calculator is always at degree, not at radian, always degree. Okay, and I know it. You have to know it. Your calculator is in degree. Okay, 5 angle 30. If I click no, not click. Shift complex is number 2 is complex. So I'm going to convert that to what? A plus bi, right? 4. That means it is in polar. I'm going to convert this into rectangle. If I click, you will see 4.33. Can you see that? 4.33 plus 2.5i, right? This is the answer, right? And in another method, you can do it. That is by using this method. Okay, let's write 5 means vi, right? So 5 will be there, cos 30 plus j 5 sin 30. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's write. Let's see what happened when we use the calculator. So 5 cos 30 plus j means I, right? Not I should be at the last. So 5 sin 30 I. You got the same result, right? You got the same result. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You knew about this? You knew about this cos theta sin theta formula?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we can write the previous one, that means this one. We can write this previous formula, that means this formula, this one, into these, right? Now here, this term is called real power because here you have a cos theta, that means you have a power factor here, right? This is called real power, that means P. And this part, that means without the J, this part is called reactive power, that means Q, because it has a sin theta. Understood? Understood, everyone? So P plus JQ, that is your total power. That is your what? Total power. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
So always remember this formula. That means V into I conjugate. Do not write these V into I. No, not V into I. It should be I conjugate. V into I conjugate is equal to P plus JQ. Do not forget these throughout my course. Okay. Now, the magnitude of this one, the magnitude, obviously, if I give you a complex number, what is the magnitude? The magnitude should be root over p square plus q square, right? You already know it, right? The magnitude. Magnitude means r.
Yes, sir.
R will be what? Root over a square plus
B square.
b square. That means p square plus q square. That is the magnitude. So you already know it. And the load impedance. The load impedance is Z. So V is equal to Zi according to the Ohm's law formula. V is equal to IR. That means IZ. You will no longer call R in AC circuit. So it should be Z. So V is equal to IR or IZ. So what is your S? S is equal to V I conjugate. V is equal to IZ or ZI, whatever you write here. So Z into I conjugate, right? So here I into I conjugate. What will happen? Anyone? I into I conjugate, what will happen? So I means, okay, let's say it is 530. Let's say it is 530. I is equal to 530, right? What is I conjugate? 5 minus 30. Now, if you multiply them, what will happen? Angle will be angle will be what? Will be gone. Will be gone because 30 minus 30 is equal to 0. That means angle is gone. So what you are left with? You are left with 5 square. Amplitude only. So I into I conjugate is equal to amplitude only. Oh, by the way, amplitude square. not amplitude only, amplitude is square. So this is I square, I square. Now what is Z? Z is equal to, right, complex load, R plus Jx. R is equal to resistance, J and J to J, and X is what? X is impedance, right? Impedance of what? Impedance of your capacitance and your inductance. So in complex, that they are R plus Jx. So if I write R plus Jx, and if I write I square, what will happen? So this R and I square will be multiplied, and this J will be J, this X will be X, and I square will be multiplied. Understood? This is your S, another formula. Okay?
Yes, sir.
There will be a lot of formula in this course. So don't be so happy, because there will be a lot of formulas and you will struggle a lot to remember all those formula. Okay? So it will be a better idea if you take a separate notebook for my course. Okay, if you maintain a separate notebook for my course, because you have to do this sort of note writing. See, I'm going to show you. You have to do this sort of note writing. Okay, this is one. Otherwise, you will be in trouble. You have to write this sort of note writing. These are all notes. Okay, huge. We have to write a lot of things in our final term. So when I was doing masters, these are the things you have to done. Okay, so it will be a better idea if you take a separate notebook for my course only. You write all of the things there and you take a note, and it will be helpful. Trust me, it will be helpful before your exam. Okay, everyone?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So the complex power balance. Okay, by the way, what is this, everyone? This is a voltage source, right? This is a voltage source. What is this?
Yes, sir.
This is a resistance. What is this? This is a resistance. What is this? This is an inductance. You know it, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is what?
Capacitor.
This is the capacitance. So you already know it, so it will be easier for me. Now let's go to the example. In the above circuit, V is equal to 1200 angle 0 volt. That means this one is 1200 angle 0, right? Volt. Z1 is equal to what? Here you can see you have only one resistor only, right? Resistor. So what is your R plus Jx? R is how much? There will be a value of R. What will be the value of X? Is there any value of X here? You have only one resistor,
No,
right?
sir.
So
Yes.
no X. So see, they say it will be 60 plus J0, right?
Yes, sir.
Next one,
Yes.
you will have a what? You will have a resistor and you will have an inductor. The inductor is always positive. Inductor is what? Positive. So the resistor value is 6, and the inductor value, that means the X value is what? 12 ohm. So positive 12 ohm. Next one, you have a resistor and you have a capacitor. So resistor is positive, obviously, because it is R, and capacitor is negative. So J minus J30. Can you see that? 30 minus J30. Okay. So this is one thing you have to know again.
Yes, sir.
This was supposed to be a topic of your AC circuit, I believe. AC circuit 2.
Yes, sir.
So you already know it
Yes,
from
sir.
there. Okay. Now they said find the power absorbed by each load and the complex power. You have to find out what is the power absorbed by each load. That means Z1, Z2, Z3, and find the complex power. Okay. So your I1, you have to find out the I. Otherwise, how can you find out the power, consumed power? You cannot. So you have to find out the I. I1, I2, I3. I1 is how much? Because this voltage is parallel to all the loads. So here, what is the voltage? Same V. What is the voltage here? Same V. What is the voltage here? Same, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. if they are same, that means you can write V by Z. Can you write I is equal to V by Z?
Yes,
So I1 is equal to V by Z1. Okay, from where I got this Z angle 0? From there it is Z angle 0, because this is 0, so this will be 0 again. So you can write 60 plus J0, no problem, you can write. So how much you got? 20 plus J0 ampere. I2 is equal to, again, this one divided by this one, 40 minus J80. I3 is equal to, again, 20 plus J20. So you got these results. This is your I. Now what is your V? So S1 will be what? V into I1 conjugate. S2 is equal to what? V into I2 conjugate. S3 will be what? V into I3 conjugate, right? All the voltage and current conjugate will be multiplied. Current conjugate. Current conjugate means what? This current conjugate means what? This will be minus. This current conjugate, this will be plus. This conjugate, this will be minus when you multiply this, right? Understood? See, V into I conjugate. V is equal to,
Yes,
it is given. I1 conjugate. That means I1 was what? 20 plus J0. It will be 20 minus J0. So from there, you will get 24000 plus J0. So the first one is your P, that means real power. So that is watt. That is what? That is watt. W-A-T-T. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Next one, with J, that means with complex number, what you got? That is your reactive power. That is called VAR. V-A-R. V-A-R. Next one, S2 is equal to V into I2 conjugate. So V is 1200 angle 0 and I2 was 40 minus J80. So 40 plus J80 will be there. If you multiply these, this will be 48,000. That is what? Plus J 96,000. That is VAR. Okay. Next one is V into I3 conjugate. So V is equal to 1200 J0 and I3 is what? I3 is what? This one, 20. This will be minus, right? Because it is conjugate. 20 minus J20. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then what? Then all the total power will be added. So S is equal to S1 plus S2 plus S3. So 9600 watt plus J7200 var. Because this will be added. So 9600, they will be added. So 72,000 J var. Okay? This is one method. Another method is you find out the complex power, right? Complex power means your I and your V. Total I and total V. What is your total I? I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3, right?
Yes, sir.
So if you add those I, that means these plus these plus these, what is your result? 20 plus 40 plus 20, that means 80. So 0 minus 80 plus 20, that means minus 60, right? Okay. Now what
Yes,
is
sir,
your
minus
V?
60.
1200 angle 0 into bracket conjugate, that means 80 plus J60. So if you multiply these, your result will be like this. Again, the same result. 9600 watt plus J 7200 var. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Same result will happen. So this
So
is
we
how.
know another
কি তুমি আরেকটা কি বলো?
so basically b square by r,
V square?
but এখানে কোনো এটা ইউজ করছি না। b square by r, b square by z হতে পারে, এখানে কেন এটা ইউজ করি না?
কোনটা এই যে তুমি you know this formula, right? This one.
আমরা তো জানি স্যার p equal to b square by r,
হ্যাঁ,
i square r। তার
That
আমরা
was-
আরেকটা তো জানি না, p equal to b square by r।
আচ্ছা হ্যাঁ, you know right? You know P is equal to V square by R. This one,
But
right?
এখানে কেন
Okay, Abdullah, your question is very valid. See, very good. Here we are dealing with the complex power, right? Complex power means you have P and you have Q, both. You are talking about only P. Only P is not enough for us. We have to find out total S. Abdullah, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's why we will not use those DC circuit formula here, because we have to find out the complex power. Because always remember, your generator do not generate real power only. Okay? তোমার জেনারেটর কিন্তু শুধুমাত্র রিয়েল পাওয়ার জেনারেট করে না। Your generator or your power system also generates reactive power. Total power you have to find out. So that's why you have to use this formula. Or okay, you said, sir, what about the V square by R, right? Here you have a formula, V square by Z, Z conjugate, not only Z, Z conjugate. Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
You can use this formula as well. How can you use this formula? V square divided by Z conjugate. What is Z conjugate? Z conjugate is this one. Z is total, right? Total Z. This one, this one, this one. You have to make the parallel and you will find out the total Z. Then you make the conjugate of the Z divided by V square. Okay? You will get the same value.
স্যার যদি আমি আলাদা আলাদা পার্ট করে নেই তখনও তো হয়।
হ্যাঁ তখন হবে V square divided by Z, V square divided by Z, V square divided by Z. Then you have to add those. হ্যাঁ তারপর তুমি অ্যাড করবা, সমস্যা কি? You can do it.
But এখানে কনজুগেট নিতে
yeah, exactly. You have to take conjugate. Otherwise, you will not get S. If you do not take conjugate, you will not get S. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, how to do this sort of math in Matlab? Let's solve these problems in Matlab, right? This is not important for your course, but this is important for your learning. So I'm going to show you how you can calculate this sort of calculation in Matlab. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Now see, let me bring it here. Okay. This one. So I'm given with a question. Okay, let's write V is equal to 1200, right? So how to write the complex form? How can you write the complex form? Is there any way? Okay, I'm going to go and search for it. I forgot. I know, but I forgot. No, let's go and search here. Conjugate command is conj bracket, which one? I1, right? Because S1 is also I1. I'm going to give semicolon. I do not want to see the result. Copy, paste. This will be S2. This will be I2, semicolon. This will be S3. This will be I3, semicolon. So your S1, S2, S3 is done. So your S is equal to S1, S2, S3. This is your final result. So 9.600 e to the power 0.4, e to the power plus 4. That means 10 to the power. E means 10 to the power. So 9.6 into 10 to the power 4. Because the result is huge. That's why they have given e to the power plus 4. Your result is fine. This is your watt. Plus 7.2 into 10 e to the power 4. And I, that means it is J. Now, if you want to see the real power and reactive power separately, you can write like this. Real power is equal to what? What is the magnitude? What is the magnitude command? Magnitude command. ABS, absolute, right? ABS. ABS, that is absolute command, absolute of S. Right? No, AB, not ABDS, is ABS. See, 12,000. 12,000 is the what? Real power. What was your real power in the form in the book? See, 12,000, right?
Yes.
No,
sir.
120,000. Not 12,000, 120,000. That was what?
It's
And what is your var? That means the reactive power.
J72,000.
Okay. Reactive power equal to what? Now, what is the angle? It was magnitude, now the angle, right? What is the
Yes,
angle command? Angle command in Matlab. So if you do not know how to do this, go to Google and write like this. See, you can see angle of Z.
Yes, sir. Angle on.
If you do not know what is the command, go to Google and write. I know what was the angle command, but yet I write it because I know here it is already given. See, the angle already there, magnitude is there already. So I see ABS is there. I know it already. So angle of what? Angle of S. No, I made a mistake somewhere. Yeah, not a mistake. Not a mistake. See, by the way, what I have done here, 120,000, that is your total power. That is the absolute. That is the magnitude of the power. And this is the angle. This angle is in radian. So I just only got the angle. I made a mistake. The real power is not the absolute. And reactive power is not the angle. I made a mistake there. So real power is the A. That is the real part only. Real power is the real part, not the absolute part. Real part. Okay? And reactive power is the imaginary part, not the angle. Angle is a different thing. Okay? Understood?
Okay, sir. Understood,
So real part command. Real part command in Matlab. Real part. Yeah, real Z. Real. You have to write real, not absolute. And imaginary part, imag. It will be imag. E-I-M-A-Z. Yes, imag. This one. So your real power is not absolute. Real power will be REAL, real of S. This will be 9600. It will be 9600. What is your reactive power? Will be Emag S 7200, right? So angle and absolute, they are actually different things. They are actually the angle and the magnitude. And real power, reactive power will be what? Will be the imaginary. That means A and B. Okay? Now, you know how to do it. Sometimes you can make a mistake like I did, but you can always go for searching things in Google and you can get it. Now, this is another math. You can do it by yourself. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to, yeah, bolo.
এখানে যে পাওয়ার কার্ভ যেটা আছে বিভিন্ন অবস্থায় ক্যাপাসিটরের ক্ষেত্রে একরকম হয়, এগুলো একটু দেখালে ভালো হয়।
এই যে এগুলা
এর আগের ম্যাথটার মধ্যে প্রত্যেকটা দেখাই
এগুলা
যে ফার্স্ট ম্যাথ যেটা আছে, ফার্স্ট ম্যাথটা দেখছিলেন যেটা, হ্যাঁ স্যার এটা।
হ্যাঁ এই ফার্স্ট ম্যাথের মধ্যে এটা, this one, right? There's actually nothing. Yeah, there's actually nothing. There's actually current Phasor diagram, current and power. So here, this diagram is called Phasor diagram. This one is for current. This one is for power. Okay? Actually, pretty simple. দেখো, আমি কারেন্টে যাই, কারেন্টের ভ্যালুগুলোতে যাই. I'm going to go here and see. I'm going to show. এটা তো তুমি এস সার্কিটে তোমার জানা কথা অলরেডি. Okay, দেখো.
ওইখানে তো ফার্স্ট সার্কিট 1 এন্ড
সার্কিট 2 তে. Okay, see. Here. Okay, see this one. Here, I1 is what? 20 plus J0. Okay, 20 plus J0. That means what is the angle of this one? This angle is 0, right? Etar angle koto? The angle is 0 here.
Yes, sir.
So the magnitude is 20. Let's say this is 20. and the angle is what?
0.
Angle is 0. This is your I1, right?
Yes, sir.
Then what is your I2? I2 is 40.
40 minus
Oh, no, you have to convert this thing to what? You have to convert this thing to angle.
polar.
Yeah, in the polar form. So I'm going to write 40 minus 80i. Convert that complex 3. And I'm going to give a bracket. I'm not sure whether the bracket is needed or not. Okay. So 89 and minus 63. How much? 89.4 and minus 63. Okay, let's write minus 63. So 89 minus 63 is where? Plus angles are here. Minus angles are here. Okay. So which one is needed? This is minus angle, minus 63. So this one is 0. This one is minus 90. So this one is what? Minus 60. This one is minus 69, right? Got my point? This is your
Yes, sir.
I2. What about the I3? 20 plus, okay, let's go there. (28, 45). Angle is how much? 45. 45 degrees is here somewhere. This is your I3. Understood? Now here, I'm going to see how much they have done. Yeah. I is this one, I1 is this one, I2 is this one, I3 is this one. Why? No, okay, wait. Why? Oh, yes, I made a mistake. One mistake. It was positive. Okay, yes.
46 plus.
Yes, it was positive. Okay. It was positive, right? It was positive. How much? I3. Now here, look at the magnitude. If this is 89, if the length of this is 89, what about 20? 20 will be smaller, right? Let's say 20 will be here. What's with the length? Why this is bigger? Why this is smaller? Because this is 28. 28 should be bigger. 20 should be smaller, right? And 89 should be way bigger. So that is your I1, I2, I3. Now what about the total I? What about the total I? How much is your total I? Total I was what? 100 minus 63, minus 36. 100 minus 36. 100. What is the 100? 100 should be bigger than 89. So let's say this is your 100. And this is 45 degree. This is 30 degree. This is 39 degree, right? Got it?
Yes, sir.
So this is your total I. So this is your phasor diagram. Abdullah, বুঝতে পারছো?
জি স্যার, বাট I3 টা কিভাবে লিখছেন স্যার একটু?
I3 is 28, 45.
না স্যার I যেটা টোটাল কারেন্ট যেটা ফেজটা
This one, right? Total current, this one.
অ্যাঙ্গেলটা।
Okay. The current is maybe 100 and angle was maybe 36, minus 36 actually. Minus 36. Got my point?
ও দুইটা কি যোগ করা?
হ্যাঁ, মানে সবগুলোকে যোগ
sir.
করলে তোমার এটা আসবে। So minus 36. Minus 36 is where?
স্যার আমি একটা
কি? বুঝি নাই।
স্যার মাইনাস 36 নিচে আসবে।
হ্যাঁ, নিচে আসবে। এবং এটা কোথায় আসবে দেখো। এইটুকু হচ্ছে 60, এইটুকু হচ্ছে 30, এইটুকু হচ্ছে 45. So 36 is where? 36 is somewhere here, right? 36 is somewhere 30 to 45 in between. So এটা তোমার একদম 100% অ্যাকুরেট হইতে হবে তা না, জাস্ট অ্যাকুরেট করতে পারলে বেটার, অ্যাকুরেট করতে না পারলে কোনো সমস্যা নাই, জাস্ট রাইট লাইক দ্যাট।
স্যার আমি ওই এমএসসি এর জন্য অনেকগুলো ভিডিও দেখছি, এখানের মধ্যে একটা দেখাইছে স্যার এগুলা অ্যাঙ্গেল যদি ভ্যালু না দেওয়া থাকে তখনও বের করছে, তখন দেখলাম যে স্যার সামান্তরিক বিধি দিয়ে মানে
হ্যাঁ
এটা বের করে
ওই সামান্তরিক মানে কি, তোমাকে এইটা দেওয়া আছে দেখো
ভেক্টরের মান দিয়ে,
হ্যাঁ এটা দেওয়া আছে, এগুলো দেওয়া আছে, এগুলোকে তুমি ভেক্টরাইজ করে তুমি বের করবা।
জি স্যার,
মনে করো একটা অ্যাঙ্গেল দেওয়া আছে, your one current is given here, another current is given here, understood? তারপর তোমাকে কি করতে হবে, দুটোকে সামান্তরিক করতে হবে।
সামান্তরিক বিধি কর্ণ,
Exactly. So those are all different methods by which you can find. But here আমাদের অলরেডি সবগুলো দেওয়া আছে অ্যাঙ্গেল এবং এটা টোটাল অ্যাঙ্গেলটাও দেওয়া আছে আমাদের, বুঝতে পারছি? সো ওয়াই নট ইউজ দ্যাট?
জি স্যার।
তো এই যে এই সেম ভাবে ওরা এস এর জন্য বের করছে S1 S2 S3 এবং টোটাল এস, বুঝছো?
ইয়েস স্যার।
তো এখানে দেখো তুমি এখানে কিন্তু সামান্তরিক ভাবে করতে পারবে না। কেন করতে পারবে না? কারণ তোমার এখানে কিন্তু তোমার দুইটা না, তোমার এখানে আছে তিনটা। তো তোমাকে যেটা করতে হবে S1 and S3, find a rectangle. This is your S1 and S2, মানে S1 and S3. Then S1 S3 and S2 there will be another সামান্তরিক, বুঝতে পারছি? তখন এখানে এখানে আসবে, বুঝছো না বুঝো নাই?
জি স্যার।
So এটা তো হ্যাঁ different methods. So this is how you can do it. This is called Phasor form. You can use Phasor form to do it, no problem, do not worry. And I believe you all practice this sort of example. All of you practice at home. This 2.4 এগুলো তোমরা বাসায় প্র্যাকটিস করবা। Got it? And if you find any difficulties, because এগুলো তোমাদের বেসিক্যালি খুবই বেসিক, এগুলো আমাদের পরীক্ষায় আসবে না অলমোস্ট বলতে গেলে। হয়তো আমি মিডের ছোট দুইটা কোশ্চেন দিতে পারি, I can give a small questions in the mid, but these are all very simple. আমি এগুলো দিব না পরীক্ষায়, বুঝতে পারছি? So what you have to do, you have to do it by yourself. আমি যদি দিয়ে দিই তখন কি করবা? আর এগুলো আমি তোমাদেরকে পড়িয়ে সময়ও নষ্ট করব না। হ্যাঁ, এটা তোমরা অবশ্যই করতে পারবা। And for God's sake, please, আল্লাহর ওয়াস্তে তোমরা সবাই আছে ম্যাথটা শিখো, ঠিক আছে? আমি বারবার বলতেছি, I am telling again and again, all of you use Matlap to solve this sort of math, okay? To do this sort of calculation. Do not use calculator. Use what? Use Matlap to do the calculation. বুঝতে পারছি? তাহলে যেটা হবে ম্যাথল্যাবে অনেক দখল আসবে তোমাদের। You can actually learn a lot of Matlab using these. Matlab যদি শিখতে পারো এই কোর্স শেষে, যদি তুমি এই কোর্সে সিও পাও, if you get C or D or even fail, but you learn Matlab so well, this is a success. Understood?
Yes sir.
If you get C, D or whatever, তারপরে যদি তুমি ম্যাথল্যাবটা শিখতে পারো কিছু অংশে, তারপরে এটা সাকসেসফুল বলবো আমি কোর্সটা তোমার জন্য। ওকে? তোমাকে অন্য কোন স্যারেরা তোমাকে এই পাওয়ার সিস্টেম অ্যানালাইসিসে তোমাকে ম্যাথল্যাব করতে দিবে না, বাট আমি তোমাদেরকে ম্যাথল্যাব করতে বলতেছি, ঠিক আছে? ম্যাথল্যাব করো, লার্ন ম্যাথল্যাব।
দুটাতে ছিল, ওইটাতে করতে পারি।
হ্যাঁ, বুঝে নাই?
এরপরে আগে দুটো কোর্সে ছিল স্যার ম্যাথল্যাব, ওইখানেই করতে পারি না।
হ্যাঁ, সো এটাতে তুমি
করতে,
in this course you do not have any MATLAB, but we will use MATLAB to solve our problems like this. Now come to the complex power flow. Power flow means I am generating some power and I am giving supply that power to somewhere. Somewhere means where? Where should I supply the power? To the load, right? To the load, right? That's my point. Here you have two voltage sources. One is V1, another one is V2. Because in complex power form or in your power line, you will have multiple generators. They are not connecting at the same point. They might be connecting at different points. So in the line, in the transmission line or in the distribution line, there will be what? There will be power flow. That means power will be flown from one point to another point. What is the calculation of power flow? Here, let's call this is our bus number 1. Let's call this is our bus number 2. Bus means what? A point, a common point where all things are connected. Bus number 1, this is our bus number 2. Okay? So that's why bus number 1, the generator is connected. That's why this is called V1. Generator is connected. That's why it is called V2. Understood? And what is the current flow from this point to this point? I12, because from bus 1 to bus 2, current is flowing from this one in this direction. So this is called I12. And what is the Z of the transmission line? This transmission line. What is the impedance? R plus JX, or you can call Z magnitude angle gamma. Okay, that is your impedance of that transmission line. Now we have to find out what is the power is, what power is flowing. How much power is flowing from point 1 to point 2? Not only the power of point 1, not only the power of point 2, how much power is flowing from 1 to 2? This is very important. This is called power flow. I told you before, in our course, we will be dealing with power flow analysis, right? Load flow analysis, I told you before. ওই যে বলছিলাম না Gauss method, I told you Gauss method, Newton-Raphson method, fast decouple method. All of those methods are used for power flow calculation. That means how much power is flowing, you have to find out that by using those methods. So that's why you have to understand what is called power flow. Power flow means how much power is flowing from one point, that is one bus, to another bus. So here, let the phasor voltage is V1 is equal to what? Obviously, V1 magnitude, angle, delta 1. Always remember, they are not, what is that? They are not, what should I say? Represent in rectangle form. They are represent in polar form. And the angle is always called delta. You can call theta, no problem. But normally they are called delta. So V1, delta 1. Next one, V2 is what? V2, delta 2. V2 is magnitude, delta 2 is what? Angle. For assumed direction of the current, let's say our current direction is in this way. Okay, I1 to I2. So our power flow will be in this way as well, I1 to I2. So what is the current here? So this voltage minus this voltage divided by impedance, right? Like your basic Ohm's law formula. Voltage difference divided by resistance, right? What is the voltage difference? V1 minus V2 divided by Z. So V1 is this one minus V2 is this one divided by Z. So here if I simplify this, V1 divided by Z, delta 1 divided by delta, no, not delta, this is gamma. Delta 1 divided by gamma. So delta 1 minus gamma will be there. This is one part. Minus, this minus is this minus. Then you have another part. What is that? V2 divided by Z, delta 2 minus gamma. Okay, got it, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This one we can call the complex power S12 is given by V1 into I12. Why? Why only V1? Because the power is flowing from 1 to 2. That's why only V1 will come here. If I write S21, then what? We have to write V2 into I21 conjugate. Okay? If we assume bus number 2 is has more voltage, we will write S21. In that time, we will find the current I21, and we will write the voltage of V2. But this time, in this case, what? In this case, we are assuming our bus number 1 is has more voltage, so we are trying to find the current from 1 point to 2 point. So this is called I12 actually. So we will do the conjugate of that one, and V1, the voltage of sending end voltage, sending end, not receiving end, sending end voltage. So V1. So here, so V1 is here, and what is your I12? I12 is from previous equation, is this one. If we multiply these, if we make a conjugate of this one, conjugate means what? Conjugate will be, this will be positive, right? This will be positive. And if we multiply these with V1, so what will happen? So V1 will come first, then what? V1 has what? V1 means what? V1 angle delta 1, right? Is multiplied with this part. If this is multiplied, then what you are getting? See, V1 delta 1. So V1 divided by Z gamma minus delta 1. Why gamma is at the front? Why gamma is at the front? Anyone can explain? Can anyone explain why gamma is at the front? Why gamma is at the front and why this is minus?
Minus common.
We take a conjugate. Since we take a conjugate means we can actually make a plus here, or we can change the angles. They change the angle. Can you see that? They change the angle. They didn't give any plus here. Rather, they changed the angle. So gamma was minus, gamma become plus, delta was plus, it become minus. Okay? This is another way of taking conjugates. So this is gamma minus delta 2. So if we multiply, what will happen? This V1, this V1, this will be V1 square. This is Z. This gamma minus delta 1 plus delta 1. So delta 1 will be gone. Minus V1 into V2 will be there, divided by Z. Then what? Gamma minus delta 2 plus delta 1. So if you just multiply, you will find this. This is very easy. If you do not find this is easy, you do it by yourself, you will see this is very easy. The only thing you will not understand why this delta 1 minus gamma, delta 2 minus gamma become gamma minus delta 1, gamma minus delta 2. Because this is the conjugate. If you take a conjugate, you can do in two ways. Either you can change the sign, main sign, or you can change the all angles. Okay? You can do in both ways. So this is your S12. So in this part, your real power, how much real power is sending? How much real power is sending? How much real power? Convert all of these into rectangle form. That means A plus GB. That means actually P plus JQ. Convert. How to convert? You have an angle, right? Cos theta sin theta, remember? You have an angle, right?
Yes, sir.
Cos theta sin theta, remember? All the cos part will be your P. All the sin part, because you will have one cos theta, one sin theta from this part. You will have one cos theta and one sin theta from this part. That means you have two cos theta that will be converted. This one cos theta that is coming from this one. Another cos theta that is coming from this part. So these two will be called P. You will have one sin theta from this part. You will have another sin theta from this part. So sin theta will be called Q. Understood, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So today I'm not going to go any further. If you convert these two, if you convert and if you go further, you can actually write like this, no problem. But this is our equation. So we will stop here. Today we will stop here. Okay?
Okay,
And
sir.
all of you, please go through all of the example that I skipped, because this is a power system analysis course. I will not be able to do all examples in my 24 classes. Not possible. Never possible. Okay? It is your duty to finish up the book. Okay? If you want to learn. So if you want to just pass, don't worry. Just go through. Okay? Everyone will pass. Everyone here will pass. Okay? Remember, everyone in this course will pass. If you attend your classes, if you attend your exams, if you give your assignment from copying from someone, you will pass. But for excellence means what? Excellence means I learned this course very well. For excellence, you have to work hard. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Shuaib, okay? Ibrahim?
Yes, sir.
Abdullah?
Yes, sir. Can you hear
Jahid?
me?
Sakline?